Talk about the fact that Facebook looks to be doing a face plant right now because Jesus fucking Christ, they lost nearly $200 billion. $200 billion. Everybody watching this video right now, probably our combined worth throughout our entire life will not make up for the amount of money that Facebook just lost, okay? And they're also losing users, not active users, which have been stagnant for a while. They're just literally falling apart at the seams. Why now? Why now? Interesting. Meta shares lost more than 1/5 of its value as the company struggles to retain users, indicating the beginning of the end of an era where a handful of Silicon Valley CEOs control the flow of information across online platforms. Oh, God, maybe 20. Okay, at the beginning of the 2020s, obviously, everybody might have had a dour outlook on how the rest of this decade could turn out, but you start to see the markers that are out there, and you know what? That dire outlook is starting to look a little bit more optimistic. Oh, you love to see it. Registering the first sequential loss of customers in the company's 18-year history. Meta Platforms, formerly known as Facebook, dropped to a 1.929 billion daily users from 1.93 billion in the previous quarter. Yeah, a lot of companies earlier this week were running year-end calls and shit, and yeah, you're gonna start seeing from these quote-unquote woke companies or these censorship companies that are out here, I would imagine, probably reporting similar losses because, well, they took it a step too far. You hate to see it. User growth across WhatsApp and Instagram was also lackluster, which is shocking, okay, resulting in the share price dropping 20%. Nearly 20 billion. Oh, sorry, I undersold it. Fucking Christ. 200 billion, which is more than the combined market value of other big tech platforms like Twitter, Pinterest, and Snapchat. Revenue for the first quarter is expected to be around 27 to 29 billion. Yeah. So what? It's going to take just about 2 years to make up for that loss? Oh, better hope no more following in the future. According to the earnings report published Wednesday, while analysts expected the number to cross $30.15 billion. Although this is a 3 to 11% year-on-year growth, the company expects growth in the first quarter to be impacted by headwinds of both impression and growth price. Now, why would they ever think that the impression of the company would be taking a hit and affecting growth? Weird. Weird how people are having to reconcile with reality. Young people have largely moved away from associating with the brand and leaning more towards interactive platforms. Yep. That's why lackluster growth on Instagram is a little bit interesting, to say the least. Facebook also has a reputation for censoring right-of-center perspectives. That's why I love the Epoch Times. They just report the truth. Ranging from major news outlets to individual influencers. Suppression and censorship of information while promoting specific viewpoints has not helped with a growing distrust of the platform. The drop in Facebook engagement has been accompanied by the rise of several alternative platforms, which are, there's something, that's for true. Gab, okay. Parler, it's dead. It's dead, Johnny. No, there's no bringing it back. MeWe, I don't know what that is. Telegram, I have nothing wrong with that. Rumble, yeah, no. Rumble, good. Big fan of Rumble, of course. They don't have Odyssey up there. And Getter, that's a hilarious little platform over there now, isn't it? But at least, like Gab, relative, I haven't seen anybody getting kicked off of Gab because their only rules are love Jesus and no pornography. Outside of that, everything's all copacetic. And Parler, they have a very tenuous relationship when it comes to censorship. Telegram seems fine. Rumble's great. Nothing wrong with Rumble, but MeWe, I have nothing. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Facebook's rebranding to Meta has not eliminated the core issues plaguing the company, though the tech giant is pointing fingers at macroeconomic challenges. Are they going to try to blame the supply chain on growth on Facebook? What? Like cost inflation and They literally did. I was making a joke and didn't read forward on that fucking crap. How? Inflation for free service and supply chain disruptions. Broadband installations are taking it. Like, what are you talking about here? Which are impacting advertiser budgets. Okay, cool. That's why fewer people are using the platform because there's fewer advertisements. This is big cope right here. Apple's app tracking transparency reduces precise targeting of Apple's user by disabling confirmations of sales or downloads and other identifying features. We believe the impact of iOS overall is a headwind on our business in 2022. Oh, so they're trying to blame Apple as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I don't care about what else is happening at Facebook. Shares for Twitter fell more than 7%, but what else is new? Snapchat fell 20%. Oh my God, maybe they got some feedback that somebody who chopped up their parents and potentially ate them was using the platform. That's bad. That's bad stuff. What about everybody else who's out here? What about these other platforms that people are just not really giving a fuck about anymore? They tried to dip their toe in wokeness, and now these chickens are coming home to roost, a lot fewer of them than what they anticipated. As Meta stock plummets 25%, what's in store for fellow U.S. tech stock giants like Netflix as internet rates and shareholder caution rises? Yeah, exactly. You keep doubling down, not on content, not on quality content, because for every Yellowstone that's out there that gets 15 million concurrent viewers for its finale episode, okay, you have to wade through a deluge of just fucking inorganic slop from Disney, okay? You got your, whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6 Marvel shows. Does anybody remember WandaVision? Can anybody recite to me episode 2 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Hey, wasn't that cool in the finale of Loki when the Hawkeye, what's the new Hawkeye's name? What's the girl's? Exactly. It's all the fucking same. Nobody cares. It has no lasting impact on the cultural zeitgeist. It just keeps running through, keeps doing the motions. And guess what? You can only keep that going for so long before people are like, well, I'm not missing anything if I don't have this platform. I'm just going to go ahead and save my money and literally do anything else, which is an impressive failure considering most of these places have had restrictions that have the access to these different platforms. Have had restrictions on movement, on travel, on the ability to entertain, and these fuckers should be they should be in the midst of a gigantic boom right now, but they're not. And this is the expressed outcome of doubling down on the opinions of a woke fringe, a subsection of a subsection of degenerate human beings on Twitter, pandering to them, making sure that your hashtag trends, not realizing that Twitter has the ability to make anything that it wants trend, okay? And anything that could organically trend and break into that, they can just get rid of it on a whim. But they think, oh my God, it's in the suggested feed, and that means everybody's gonna like it. It's not fucking happening. Now is it? Shares in Facebook's parent company Meta fell by almost 25% in a U.S. trading on Thursday, wiping 200 billion. It says pounds there. It also says dollars, so I don't really know. The so-called FANG group, FAANG, of Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google's Alphabet, now seen $400 billion in market capitalization wiped off in the opening weeks of 2022 as cheaper segments of the market become more attractive. Fears are mounting among investors of the fate of the major tech stocks. Good. Let them all fucking fail so something better can come along. Because why are they failing? Over regulation, over policing, conflicting with Section 230, which could have let them flourish, but instead of acting like a publisher, like they claim to, they're acting like an editorial board, restricting, censoring, not listening to your customers on policy and content decisions, and just doing whatever the fuck you want, thinking you can get away with it. Oh man, really does suck. Now doesn't it? When do changes happen? The money starts to run out. This is a good sign. It really is. You guys should be happy on this one. Major U.S. tech stocks have now come under growing pressure as investors expect policy tightening at the Federal Reserve to erode the industry's bumper valuations following years of ultra-low interest rates. Oh my God, so under the good economy of Orange Man, and then the person who you guys, geriatric man, the one that you guys supported overwhelmingly with sponsorship, huge donations, okay, outright advocation from every single corner of, that guy's gonna end up throttling your profits? Who could have possibly seen that coming? Should have just stayed neutral. It's that old saying, get woke, go something. Rising interest rates generally make holding shares in tech stocks whose hefty valuations are underpinned by expectations of sustained period of high growth appear less alluring. What? No. Shares in Facebook owner Meta, parent company, plunged 20% in the U.S. pre-market trade on Thursday. Don't know how they rebounded today because things aren't all said and done, but you can't really imagine things would be rebounding, all things considered. Company lost nearly $200 billion since the markets closed yesterday. NASDAQ fell more than 8% in January, marking the worst monthly drop since the end of 2019. Yeah, when the world was like, hey, China has sniffles right now. It's like, no, we don't. And it's like, they don't. But just brace for some shit. Disappointment over Meta has, for some, raised memories of the tech bubble burst back in 2000 and highlights that after the sector's record-breaking run, investors have started to become highly selective. Yup. So again, we could start running a whole bunch more boring shit about, okay, well, stock prices and then analysts are saying, but guess what? Big tech is starting to fail. Oh, this is just the beginning, but oh, is it beautiful. 25 fucking percent. Like that. $200 billion gone in an instant. Maybe they'll start to realize that, you know what, biting down on all of this censorship shit, that's really caused people to start leaving our platforms, going to other places, because you take a look at all of the reports from places like Rumble, Odyssey, Gab is having some of the best turnout in their history. What do they all have in common? Freedom of the users. Maybe this will get these huge platforms, which I would love to see flourish, because you always want to flourish in the biggest markets, but when you don't do that, well, nobody's going to show up. So if this is if we're looking for an opportunity to inspire change in these big platforms, this is the best opportunity to find it. So if there isn't some sort of correction off of this, well, just know fully and completely that they're totally ideological and it's over, Johnny. But we'll see where it goes from here, because money talks, BS walks, as they say. But with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.